Whilst fighting, I ended up hurting her really badly. Don't get me wrong, I did not intend to hurt her and it was a complete accident. She screamed out in pain and I immediately tended to her. She pushed me off and started crying. I rushed to the kitchen to get some ice, but when I came back to her room, she locked herself in the room.
No, but what if they're play fighting?
I'm actually genuinely.
What if they like play fighting, yeah? And
Yeah.
they're like, come on, let's have one.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, boom. And then like,
That
she's
is
taking
abuse.
one to chin, yeah?
That's abuse.
And now she's like, bro, what the hell, bro?
Yeah, but bro, look. Accidents happen when you play fight. Accidents do happen, bro. It happens with kids. It happens with everyone. It happens with adults. It happens when you're doing it with your boys.
Yes, guys, what you say, my people? Welcome back to the show. It's your boy Answer,
It's Sakib.
And your boy Hobbs.
and you're tuning in to the After 5 Club. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Please like, comment, subscribe. Guys, I got a little favor for all the people watching, yeah? So we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we can only do that with their help, innit? So we need everyone to subscribe, like the video, comment, share the video as well. Without you guys, we can't do this. So we're trying to bring out some good content for everyone watching. So
Yeah.
please subscribe.
100%. It doesn't cost anything.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll be taking it to the next level.
Next level, G. Right, guys, how you guys been, man? How's life?
Life is very good right now. Do you know what
Very
it is? I've just been having bad luck recently.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
gonna talk about some of this bad luck then.
Like there's so much stuff. Like I'm doing up one of the ensuite, right? Next thing I know, I've gone to work and I see there's a hole now in the downstairs floor.
Well,
The
because
ceiling.
of the
Yeah.
renovation.
Because of the renovation. So it's just problem after problem. Trying to deal with it, work stress, everything. It's just, yeah.
Past work is aggro, man.
It is. It's annoying and frustrating.
Mm.
But it is what it is. You just have to move on and, yeah, carry on.
You shouldn't get a cowboy builder.
Sorry, cut that out. Sorry.
You shouldn't get a cowboy builder.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
And you get what you pay for. You know, it's the truth. You get what you pay for. If you think you can save some money doing some shortcuts and stuff, comes back around that you're actually going to end up spending more than if you just paid someone and done it properly. So lesson learned.
Fair enough, man.
What about you guys?
Yeah, all good, man. Not bad.
Yeah.
Nothing new.
Nothing to report.
No, nothing at the moment, bro. All good, same old. Just another day.
Yes, keep, man. I heard you got a bone to pick, man.
Big bone.
I heard you got a chip on your shoulder, bro.
Chip on my shoulder.
Yeah, man.
Nah, bro, I ain't got no chip on my shoulder, man.
Of course you do, bro. The clip you showed me.
The one that I sent you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play the clip right now, yeah?
Boom.
And then, yeah.
Alright, cool, go on.
Yeah?
No, because nobody hates me more than a middle-aged desi man with a receding hairline, still living at his mum's, going on about, man, you know, driving his course around. Oh, you know, you're so picky, you girls these days. Look at you, you're pushing 30, man. You're going to be alone forever, man. You're so picky in it. Like, look at you. I say I'm down for investing personally in an island where we just take these lot in a PIA like flight, one way, and dump them there. I'm so tired. Can you just let girls live their life? Like, why can't you accept that girls can be happy without the existence of a male? Like, I just...
So yeah, bro, look, I ain't got no chip on my shoulder, man. It's just that basically I just thought it'd be a good conversation, really. So I think what this person is saying, I don't know her name, is it maybe Safa or something like that? She's saying in her clip that that women are happy without men.
Is that really the case, though?
I don't know, and this is what I wanted to talk to you guys like about, like as in.
So basically, what she's saying is that if whatever reason there's no men, women will be living happily.
Yeah. Basically, that's what it sounds like.
Basically,
You know, I get that. For me, I just feel like without men, for example, women can still be happy, but with men they'll just be happier. It's not that they'll be sad without men. Do you get my point?
No, it's
Like,
true. It's true.
You know,
It's true.
We're a bonus.
Yeah, bro. The thing is, yeah, I can't lie. Yeah, I can't lie. Yeah, what caught me attention was was the fact that, bro, I found that video bare cringe.
I thought it was cringe as well.
I found it very, very cringe. Right, and
I
Sorry,
saw
Pops,
that,
go on.
right? Humble yourself. bleep it out. Bleep the swear. But let's be honest, like, come on. Like, don't act as if you're bare big and you're better than everyone else. Like,
yeah, I think
come on, even if you are in a better position than everyone else, you don't need to prove it and all that. Oh yeah, in your box room and stuff. You know you're really living unhappily when you have to actually document that all of these things. Let's be honest. Because if a person is living happily, you won't even need to comment on it.
no,
So
it's
for her
true.
to say
it's
it,
true.
I just
think,
find that disrespectful, man.
look, you know what the thing is? I think she's maybe she's just doing it for a bit of clout or something like that.
Yeah,
and,
that's usually what.
and
tends
it
to happen.
You know, to be fair, she's pinned it as well. So as in you know, she's probably going. She's obviously made it with that video, and
Yeah.
it's drawn quite a lot of attention. But I think, generally speaking, man, I think obviously she's probably had a negative experience. She's probably trying to make a point to her ex,
Or indirect.
right? Trying to make him jealous or something like that. Trying to make him feel like, you know what, I'm happy, I'm living my life, I'm doing whatnot, this, that, whatnot. And you know what, everyone can live their life. There's no problem with that. But when you're broadcasting it, it just sounds a little bit too fake.
Yeah,
innit?
my problem with that is, fair enough, you might have some negative experiences with your own situations, but then if you're announcing to the world, oh yeah, you know, women don't need men, this kind of thing, then it kind of poisons other people innocent minds that don't really need to. You know what I mean?
100%. Because as well as, let's be honest, do you know lots of people who are very, very happy, but they may not just be living that lavish lifestyle. They may be happy in a nice, modest home, in their box room, but they're happy. They don't need that extra. If they wanted to, they could. But, you know, so I feel like you're poisoning everyone's mind into thinking, oh, that sort of lifestyle is bad and you should feel shit or crap if you're in that situation. So that's my point anyways. I just feel like, you know, yeah.
Bruv, you mark my words, yeah. She's gonna try getting married in the next 10 years, isn't it?
10 years.
No,
The next
within
couple
the
years,
next
bro.
10 years. The way she's talking, yeah, she sounds as though she's never gonna get married.
Good for her.
110%,
You know.
yeah. She's gonna try and get in a relationship to try settle down with someone within the next 10 years. 10 years, long time. I'm giving them a large window, right? But what I'm trying to say is people need to think twice before they say stuff.
Yeah.
Because it can come back to bite you. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, that's all.
I just don't get like how like people like them. Like, I'm not saying she's wrong, I'm not saying she's right, but what I'm saying is don't like belittle each other.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Don't belittle men just for the sake of, oh yeah, women are superior, women don't need men. Bro, we all know in reality there's no need for that.
Yeah.
Now we're here to live, we're on the same planet, we're here to live together.
Yeah.
There's no get rid of men, there's no getting rid of women.
Be happy together.
Yeah, we gotta live together.
Yeah.
There's no point like trying to be like, oh yeah, men don't need women, women don't need men. It's just a bit stupid, man. I think it's childish.
It is childish.
Yeah.
And it's like the tone she said it in as well. It's like you get that vibe of like there's something that's bothering you, and you're just putting your frustration out there.
Yeah, I think.
But anyway, I'm not to judge, you
I
know.
think
By all
maybe
means.
she's been out with quite a few men who live in their mum's box room or something like that. Maybe.
I can't comment because it's none of my business, and I don't want to comment, or else we'll be in the same position as
But
well.
it's fair play to them, though, isn't it? Like, if they
Yeah.
want to stay with their mums, that's fine. There's nothing.
They're
wrong with
happy,
that.
they're happy.
They're happy with that. That's
You
fine.
know.
When
Each
they
to
have,
their
when they
own.
have their own family, then they move out. That's fine. Like, that's up to them, innit?
Definitely, you gotta humble yourself, man.
It reminds me of a situation. You know when people like watch Love Island and stuff like that, yeah. And then you all know Love Island is like, it's like trash TV in it,
Full on.
full on trash
Yeah.
TV, and it points a very like bad light on men and women both. And then when people see that and they say like, oh, look at that guy, he's such a trash guy. All men are trash. This that, bro. It really like grinds my gears, bro. Because it's like you're watching trash TV. You know you're watching trash TV. First of all, they on that program to be trashy.
Yeah.
But then you're labeling all men as if like men are all like that. It really like proper pisses me off because like, what's the need?
Yeah.
know,
Like,
is it-
that's just you being very like immature and very like uneducated if you're actually labeling all men as being like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And vice versa, men that do the same to women as well is just stupid, isn't it?
100%, and it poisons their minds too. The people that watch it, I feel like it comes to that point of, you know, we were discussing this previously about expectation, when you watch things like these or when you listen to stuff like this, subconsciously expectations build in your mind. So now you're thinking, okay, let's just say, for example, what that woman said about boxing and stuff. Your expectation is, oh, I can't marry a person that lives like that. But he could make you the happiest person alive. But now, because of what you've seen and what you're hearing, that's poisoning your mind and is causing an obstacle. And that's sometimes the problems. That's why you're seeing divorce rates being so high as well nowadays.
Not only that, if a mature mind sees something like that, they can easily distinguish, okay, that's just, all right, it's just whatever.
Yeah.
But someone that's impressionable, like
Or
a
young.
But this is
Yeah.
the problem.
they
innit?
watch it
Yeah,
and then
but
they're like, oh yeah, this is sick, bruv. You know what I'm saying? This is
the problem
wicked.
is social media, especially TikTok, is packed with young people, very young people. Like we're talking like under 20s, right? And this is where their mentality, and I think most of those likes are probably from the under 20s anyway, right? But I'm just saying, like, as in, it's very influential for the viewers. So I think it's just, I don't know, man. Like, as in, it's not nice, especially when she's generalizing and she's trying to make a statement that basically this is a negative. She's adding negativity to men, for example, and how women are like brilliant without men and all that sort of stuff.
I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
We can all-
Can you imagine if a man was to make a video like that about women?
Like a bare backlash, man.
There'd be mad backlash. So I think it's just not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
We can all put our hands up and say, you know what, as men, we're not perfect, man. In our community, but there's a lot of men that are just not with
Yeah,
it.
there's good and bad
Do you
of
know what I mean?
everyone, innit?
Yeah.
That's the thing. There's good and bad of everyone.
But it's just
so.
literally about coming together, man. I don't understand how like people are trying to draw lines between men and women. That's just stupid, man. We're here living together. Let's just work together, be together,
Exactly.
live happily together.
Exactly.
And support each other.
You want to be single for the next few years? That's fine, man.
That's on you, innit? If you want
be
to
single,
be
be single.
Don't
But like,
poison the flipping public.
Yeah.
and say
Exactly.
That's the right thing to do.
But each to their own, man. You know.
Yeah, man. Swiftly moving on.
Yes.
I've got a question for you, man, today.
go for it, bro.
It's a bit of a sensitive one, yeah?
Interesting, yeah.
Interesting, but sensitive.
Nah, go on.
Yeah. So let me bring
Is
this
it
up.
an
quickly.
anonymous one? Anonymous.
It's another anonymous
It's
one.
always
Yeah.
anonymous with us, man.
We have to keep anonymous.
We
ones.
always maintain confidentiality, so please do write to us.
100.
Yeah.
Title is I Hurt My Wife.
Oh,
Okay. It says, my wife, 26 female, and I, 27 male, have been married for just over a year now, and it's been bliss. She's everything I could ever ask for and more, and now my stupid self is about to lose her.
oh,
She was play fighting with me. We play, yeah. We play fight a lot.
Like WWE.
Yeah, WWF. Back in the day. We play fight a lot together regularly, and it usually leads to intimacy.
jeez.
TMI, but anyway. Whilst fighting, I ended up hurting her really badly. Don't get me wrong, I did not intend to hurt her, and it was a complete accident. She screamed out in pain, and I immediately tended to her. She pushed me off and started crying. I rushed to the kitchen to get some ice, but when I came back to her room, she locked herself in the room. I stood outside apologizing and begging her to let me in, but she sent me a message saying she needs space. This broke my heart. I hurt the person I loved the most. We slept separately for the first time since being married. This morning before work, I saw her and felt even worse after seeing the bruise on her forehead. I tried to engage in conversation and apologize, but she didn't say a word, nor even look at me. Now I'm at work, she's just sent me a message saying that she's going to her parents' home for the weekend and she doesn't want to see me. What do I do?
That choke slam must have been mad.
Body slammed her, bro.
Yeah. That was, you know, it's probably the concussion that's speaking. Like, give it a few days and she'll be back to normal. Bro, I feel like, you
It's
know,
sad, bro.
with stuff like this, again, I think it's very personal in the sense of it's unique. Every situation is different. I think you just have to judge it as it is. I'm sure she will come to the fact that it was a joke or it
Yeah, I
was an
think she'll
accident,
come around and think like, you
just
know what,
let it
okay,
be.
it was a bit of it was an accident,
Yeah.
whatever. But in the moment, obviously she got banged up, bro. But obviously, she's obviously gonna be hurt.
That's sad.
She's gonna be like, oh, you know,
But bro,
God's
it
up
was
and
an
everything.
accident, though, innit?
Yeah,
It was a
play
bloody
fighting.
accident,
Yeah.
right? You can't handle jokes. You can't handle little accidents, and don't do it. Like, sorry, right? But Bro, I'm sorry, yeah. I'm actually annoyed at that.
No, but what if they're play
I'm
fighting?
I'm
yeah?
actually
What
genuinely
if they like
annoyed.
play fighting, yeah? And
Yeah.
they're like, come on, give me one, let's have one.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, boom. And then
That is
she's taking
abuse.
one to chin, yeah.
That's abuse.
And now she's like, bro, what the hell, bro?
Yeah, but bro, look. Accidents happen when you play fight. Accidents do happen, bro. It happens with kids. It happens with everyone. It happens with adults. It happens
No,
when,
but,
when you're doing it with your boys as well.
It
but
just
he-
depends the intention.
Right.
If you feel like
Bro, look, they play fight often enough for themselves to build intimacy.
Yeah.
That's what you
That's
said.
she's probably expecting,
right.
innit? She's
So-
probably expecting, okay, we play fight. It's probably gonna lead to intimacy.
Yeah.
But this time round, I got banged in the face.
Yeah,
So obviously
I-
she's gonna be
I
hurt,
hear
innit?
that, I hear that, right? But bro, she should know that it was an accident. And bro, the minute if you've got a partner who realizes that yes, you know what, you do this on we play fight, and then this is an often act or whatever part of the role play, or God knows what, yeah, right? But this is how we approach our intimacy, right? Then you know what, that's part of your game plan, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's part of your game plan.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you know, I can understand you're pissed off at that moment, that immediate moment, but then afterwards you should be able to let it go. Not to the point where you dragged it on the next day. Not to the point where basically now you're gonna go to your parents' house and make a scene out of it. Bro, this is a piss take. This is where the woman, this is where this is where the wife is literally making an issue bigger than it needs to be, and what she's essentially doing is playing this victim and making her husband feel like the worst man alive,
I hear that.
right? Because, bro, if a man is gonna hit a woman, bro, there's all sorts of labels that go into this man, right? And now, bro, embarrassing him in front of his in-laws, in front of his parents-in-laws, and all that sort of stuff, bro, that is deep. That is bloody deep, man.
She might have gone home and said, you know what, he actually meant it. He did on purpose. This, that,
It's
blah,
all
blah.
sorts, man. It's all
Yeah.
sorts. But you know, like, bro, look, if someone's gonna play like that, bro, they can even go report it to the police as well. Do you know what I mean? Because God knows what she's thinking about it.
I think it boils down to the fact is, listen, after that, you just need to give it a bit of time. And you just need to communicate. You know, if you're a married couple, so you know each other very well. So you would know whether it's an accident or whether it was done purposely. That's first and foremost. And obviously, as they were saying that they do these things often, I feel it's a bit exaggerated what she's done, you know, and I feel for both people. Because yes, it's an accident. Accidents happen.
Bro, look,
You know, she's probably just waiting for her energy to recharge so she can do the Hadouken back or something. or something. But honestly, I would say it's nothing to really worry about.
But the thing is,
No,
what I'll
it's
say
like-
though,
The man needs to stand his ground as well.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
can't
yeah.
just be like, "Oh, I'm too apologetic."
Yeah.
because he needs to be like, "Listen, we do this often. It was an accident. I'm being firm in what I'm doing. I'm saying it was an accident. You know, yeah." But then again, there's a fine line between accident and abuse. We don't know the real situation. It could be something hidden, and maybe
he might have just like
he might have lashed
got
out.
proper got
for all
raged,
we know, and that's
and he
bad.
took it out on her or something.
And that's unacceptable. And you know, that's like, if you need to tell the police, go tell the police, sort of thing. Because
yeah,
you know,
no. If that's the case, then
Yeah,
that's
that's
different.
different.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we're basing it on what the
Play
story's
fight.
been presented to us. Yeah, so basing it on the story that the way it's been presented to us, it just sounds as though she's taken it well out of proportion. Like, as
Yeah.
in- and you know what? I mean, in all honesty, man, for me personally, that's a major thing. That's a major thing. Like, as in, she's involving outsiders now.
Yeah.
She's gonna make.
You
a
shouldn't have
scene
done
of
that,
it.
man. That was silly of her, man. She shouldn't have done.
but maybe she's going to stay at her parents' house,
Yeah.
but she probably isn't telling them the real situation. Maybe she's probably just saying, "Oh, making up an excuse so that she's still protecting, you know, and keeping it private." The business, that could be a case, which is
Bit of
understandable.
benefit of doubt there, but yeah, maybe.
But I would just leave it out in the first place. Like, what was the need to mention anyway in the first place?
What's the need to even go? Just tell him, "Listen, I need space."
But
You leave."
I was gonna say, like, obviously, like, as a man, obviously, like, if you get hit by a woman in that situation, obviously, it's minor for the guy, isn't it? But for a woman, it is a bit more deeper
is.
because we all know, like, men's strength compared to women's strength is different, of course, isn't it? So she's taken aback. She's obviously a bit shell shocked a little bit. I don't think it's too that deep. I don't think she will come back around and she'll be like, okay, you know what, it was an accident. It's fine. Let's move on. But But I think in the moment, just let her, you know.
Yeah, but her reactions is gonna scar that man, though, innit?
Yeah, I hear that. I do hear that as well, man.
I don't think that's nice on the man, personally. Look, bro, accidents happen. Accidents can happen even when you're walking down the steps. Accidents can happen even when you're crossing the road. But at the end of the day, this person, I mean, obviously only him and her, they know the truth, whether what his intentions were and all that. Yeah, but given what he said, it just seems like seems genuinely just like an accident. Do you know what I mean?
And they've done it many times before. It's not the first time they're doing it. So, you know what I mean?
And I think we should also give the benefit of the doubt in the fact that, look, we've all been in, and I can say that for all of us, we've all done things or said things when we are in that moment and lashed out. Example, like everyone's done it, we're all human. So maybe that could be her doing that, and she just needs a bit of space, and then hopefully give her some time, give her some breathing space, and she'll come back and she'll realize once she's reflected that, you know what, it was an accident, accidents happen. Because let's be honest, when you're in the heat of the moment, you can say stuff that you regret, and that's probably her way of showing that potentially.
Yeah, but bro, the problem is you keep saying you're gonna give her space, but imagine when you give her space, that's fine. Giving space is not a problem, but if she's gone to her parents now, and her parents now seem to think that you got violent with her or something like that, when there was no intention for that, and that wasn't the case. Then how are you gonna feel trying to fix that? She needs to apologize to some degree because she's overreacted. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So now we're making situations worse. So I understand the giving space aspect, but the way she's gone about it, you know, I'm not sure when she, you know, if I was in the guy's position when she does want to come back, whether I might now need the space because the way you reacted. Like I'm just saying, like from my own my thinking. Because now I'd feel too insulted. I'd feel too embarrassed.
It's also about how he reacted in that situation as well, innit? If he was like, ha ha ha, oh, it's just an accident, get over it kind of thing, then obviously she's going to be pissed off, innit?
Yeah.
But if he was actually genuinely apologetic and be like, you know, I'm so sorry that I didn't mean it. You know, you even said like you went to the kitchen and you tried to tend to her, this, that, blah, blah. He's trying to, you know, look after her and probably look after the wound, whatever happened on the forehead. He was actually trying to look after her. So in that situation, it's a bit of peak on him because he was actually very genuine when he's being apologetic, innit?
I feel for the guy because if it was a genuine accident, come on, man, just brush it over.
But for the guy, what would she say to the guy? I would say just don't worry too much. I think she'll come around, give her some space when she comes back, and you say you're sorry. She'll say sorry from her side as well, and just that's it. I think play fighting is probably like not a thing anymore for you guys, but
yeah, definitely not. I mean, you're gonna have to explore a little bit more options, maybe.
I mean,
like
next time,
role play or something.
do some other role plays or something like
I was gonna
that.
say next time check out MMA.
I think let's switch it up now, because obviously, bro, we've spoken very briefly about this specific topic, but I think we can switch it up. So unrelated to this now, let's talk, because we haven't really spoken about like
abuse. Yeah. I was gonna say as well. Let's talk about the topic of abuse.
So since we're on this topic, if we just expand it, I'm sure not too much, because obviously abuse is such a big thing, and you know we can talk about so many aspects of abuse. But let's just switch it up. So, what do you think about? Because you know abuse works both ways. It works from men typically abusing women physically, emotionally, mentally, psychologically, but there's also women abusing men,
which doesn't get talked about enough.
Really doesn't. Really, it doesn't. Have you come across any situations like that?
Financially,
I was just literally watching the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard documentary on Netflix recently. And that was like I was following a little bit, but I wasn't really clued on about what was happening specifically. And bro, like she got caught in the act of, you know, she was saying he was beating her up, he was doing this and that, and it was basically a bravado. She was just like making the whole scene up. She was like making up stories and this, that. So that's, for me, that's psychological abuse as well, because if you're painting someone out to be this abusive person and you know they're not, and you're telling the world that, this guy's been abusing me, this, that, it mentally tortures the guy to make him think. He might even think, you know what, I didn't do nothing, But he's probably questioning himself now.
Yeah.
Did I actually do
Did
that?
I actually fucking do that?
Yeah.
Like, do you know, bro, it's mad. It's
And
mad.
that's one of the worst forms of abuse, in my
That is-
opinion.
that
If you're
is-
mentally torturing that person, making them think that you're one person you're actually not, bro, I think that's serious, man.
Bro, the problem is, men are not expressive enough. A lot of the time, they just hide their feelings, their thoughts, their emotions. They just try to like crack on and try to like, men are wired in the sense where basically they're problem solvers.
Yeah.
They're not the sort of people who like to just like converse just for the sake of conversing.
Yeah. We don't announce problems. We solve
don't.
it.
Yeah, if someone's going to speak to us about problems, we want to get to the bottom,
Yeah.
nitty gritty of it, and
Yeah.
just try to like resolve the actual issue. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Like for example, if one of our partners was to come to us and just say, a bad day at work or something like that, or something like that, we're gonna try getting to the bottom of it. And they're gonna be like, "What the crap? I don't want no solutions. I just wanted you to listen to me."
I
Do
don't
you know
get
what I mean?
That's I don't know for you guys as men. I just
Yeah.
find it very like hard because if you're coming to me with a problem,
Yeah,
I want to help you get to the solution.
yeah,
Do
100%.
you know what I mean?
100%.
I'm not gonna sit there and listen for the sake of listening.
Yeah.
That's just hard for me to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what do women get out of that just by listening? I'll get that they're venting,
but
I get they're airing out what they're thinking, their thoughts and feelings and stuff. But like,
But
is
I
that
think
really helping? Like,
maybe it does because this is the thing, because women they're able to deal with a lot more emotional sort of issues, right? Not as in, whereas men they're not.
yeah, no,
Men
yeah.
aren't emotionally strong compared, like generally. I'm not saying for everyone. I'm just saying I just mean like overall.
Yeah.
But anyway, in this case, like for example, I'm sorry, not this case, but I'm just generally with the topic that we're talking about. There's often instances where, like for example, women, there's some toxic people out there, some toxic partners out there who may end up imposing for the husband to work in accordance to the way they want them to live their life, like not to the husband, like sorry, I didn't word that correct, but basically a husband has to live their life according to the way the woman wants them to. And if it's the same, if the roles were reversed, then that would be classified as though that's controlling, that's abusive, and like the woman doesn't have her freedom and all that sort of stuff. But that's very often the case with men. That men aren't allowed to go certain places, can't go out to eat with their friends regularly, or have limitations, or do you know what I mean? And I find that a form of abuse, man.
I agree. I think it is abuse as well.
But then there's also some women who, when they get angry, they can physically smacks. There are some women.
It was not funny, bro.
Sorry.
It was not funny,
No,
G.
I'm cutting that, bro.
No, we're not cutting it.
You're
It's not
fucking
funny.
cutting that.
It's not funny, G.
No, bro, you smiled as well, you waste man.
I didn't say it though. I didn't say it though.
I didn't know.
There are
What women that smacks?
there are some
Smash burgers.
of course you hear the stories where men have hit women, yeah, but there's also women who hit men, and it happens quite often.
Okay.
Right.
I have another blanket question. Yeah. If a woman hits you, are you allowed to hit them back? It's a simple yes or no.
We all answering this, yeah. Go on, Hobbs.
Definitely not.
No.
No.
So okay, cool. So I'm gonna ask you now, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna build on his answer. So what if now she hits you twice?
I'll defend myself, but I'm not gonna hit her back. I'll stop
No.
her from hitting me, whether that's me blocking it or whatever. But I wouldn't hit her
Okay.
back. I'll try.
Your block's not working. The block button is like
So-
is jammed. You can't do it.
No, because it often happens, right? Like for example, bro, some
I'm not gonna
people-
hit someone back though, even if she hits me 50 times. An example, because I feel like if she's after the first time or the second time, you're gonna have to move out the way or something,
If she's
or
hit
leave
you-
the
if she's-
situation.
if she's
Just
hit you
leave the
50
situation,
times,
run.
If she's hit you 50 times, you're not really doing nothing
Yeah,
to self-defense.
exactly.
It's not working, is it?
Yeah.
Like after the second time,
Okay.
you give space. You're like, I'm moving away. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
But she's following you. She's following you around the house.
She's pissed off. She's
Yeah.
pissed off. She
I'm
comes
leaving
to
the
you.
house.
She's got a flipping pan in her hand, bro. A rolling pin in her hand.
I'm not. Well, it's not me. I want to stop her.
Mm-hmm.
If she was to hit me multiple times, you know, I would. I wouldn't hit her back. But I'll try to find a way to, you know, restrain her.
Fair enough. No, that's a fair answer.
Yeah.
Bro, I can't lie yet. You know what? I'd like to say, and I'd like to think that basically, if I was to get hit by a woman, now first of all, it depends who this person is. Is it a stranger? Is it someone on the streets? Is it a relative? Is it a family member? Do you know what I mean? I think all these things play a little part as well, right? Because your reactions are all dependent on who that person is, right? And sometimes it's also your instant reactions as well. Now, don't forget, this is a stranger, this is another person, this is an opposite gender who's hit you, who has initiated the attack. Yeah.
Assault.
Depending on how hard it is, right? Depending on who it is, your instant reactions, they are majority of the time uncontrollable, right? So the correct answer to that from my perspective is I don't know. I don't know what happens naturally. My natural defense might just be the fact that a blow just goes to the person. I don't know. It could also be that I might just grab the arm, twist it, and get the person on the floor. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, as you said, the restraint thing. But I will just say I'm not getting slapped twice. Like, as in, I'm not even allowing the second opportunity. I would definitely be restraining the person at the bare minimum because I'm not getting slapped twice. Straight up. It's not happening.
My initial thing is like, yeah, if I just got hit by a woman, my first reaction is to restrain. Yeah. Even after restraining, if she's still going for it, after she knows I'm trying to restrain her, and she still feels comfortable enough to keep trying to hit, that's when I think the line is rubbed out. Then I think you're allowed to defend yourself in that situation.
Yeah, I
What,
think
what
so.
do you mean by defending yourself? Is it a case of you flooring her and then putting her in a position where she's not able to hurt you, or is it a case of I'm
Whatever
gonna
it
attack
takes,
you back?
brother. Whatever it takes, bro.
Yeah.
If you're willing to slap punch me when I'm trying to restrain you,
100%.
I think you're well in the right to do the same back.
Bro,
I think it depends on the scenario, as you were saying as well, isn't it?
Bro, I remember seeing a clip, yeah, and this is on London Underground, yeah. There's this woman who was battering this man. Bro, he was a big guy as well, yeah. She took off her high heels,
No way, stuff.
and smashing it on the guy. The guy's being respectful. He didn't even try to hit her back. He's not even doing nothing, right? And bro, she's smashing the crap out of him. Bro, I was fuming, bro, when I saw that video. I was just thinking to myself, how the hell is a man gonna tolerate that? Bro, if that wasn't a woman and that was a man, he'd definitely do something there. Why is he restricting himself just because he's a woman? Just because he's a woman, you're allowed to get abused and beaten up by a woman? Like, no, it just doesn't make sense. So I agree with you. Like, as in, I think abuse is abuse, and at the end of the day, everyone's got a right to defend themselves.
Yeah, but you also got to look at yourself as well. In that moment, like, if you're a big guy and you know, like, one minor blow is gonna knock her out clean.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be using full force now, innit? Like, if you're taking the mick, like, and then you
shouldn't,
gotta
you
be-
know,
100%,
you should restrain,
I
but you
mean.
shouldn't hit. Like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't hit back.
No, I think no, you're right. I think restraint, yeah.
Or just get out of the situation.
Hitting probably, it's definitely avoided. It can be avoided in a lot of situations. But for example, you might just, and bro, there's a lot of feisty people out there, man. That's the thing. You don't know what situation you're gonna be in. You could be, as I said, bro. You could be on the London Underground. It could be a rushed train or something like that. I don't know. As you're walking past, some woman starts like, or someone the opposite gender starts like screwing at you and starts flipping out at you. All of a sudden, she smashes you in your face or in your eye or something like that. Bro, your instant reaction, someone just smacked you in your eye. Bro, no matter how weak that person is, if it hits a sensitive part, that's gonna feel really hard. So it doesn't feel like just because the person's weak.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is your instant reaction ain't gonna be weak. That's what I'm trying to say. Do you know what I mean?
And in that situation, you're not actually thinking about, oh, who hit me?
Who hit-
Oh, how hard am I
exactly.
gonna hit
That's what I
back?
mean.
It's just natural, like
Yeah.
self-defense, innit? It's survival, innit? At the end of the day, if you've been striked, you're gonna naturally strike back. It's just your
Yeah.
first instinct
Yeah.
is that. Obviously, as men,
I f-
women, whatever, we have to control that. I get it, but you can't control what
Yeah.
happens. You know what I mean?
Bro. And you know what? Do you remember that there was that clip that went very, very viral back in the day? How can she slap? Do you remember that? Yeah, just post it for the viewers. Yeah. But just remind people.
Actually, the thing is that we don't want to talk with you, actually.
Why don't you go and f off then?
You go. Oof. How can you slap? How can you slap? Mad or what, bloody? How can she slap? How can she slap me? How can you slap, bloody? Fucker! Bastard! Bloody bastard!
Bruv, she literally slapped the guy.
Yeah.
Right? I can't remember what he said. Yeah, maybe he insulted her, or he said something to her. And
She's like, why don't you go and F off then?
Yeah,
He's like,
why don't you go
You
and
go?
fuck
You
off
go?
then?
He's like, you go?
You go?
We do the smile. You go? With a smile.
Yeah, with a smile.
You go?
Yeah,
Smile.
you got right? And then she can't take it. She slaps him.
Yeah.
Oh, you got man, just slaps her back, yeah. And I'm fucking.
And then the whole crew comes and
whole
bashes
lot.
him
That
up.
was-
That was a hard slap, though. I can't lie.
Bruv, she
was a hard
did
slap.
slap him as well.
She did slap him.
She
as well.
slapped him hard.
but
as
the
well.
way he slapped her back was mad.
Yeah, but bro,
That
the
was
thing
mad.
is, yeah, she's telling him to fuck off, yeah.
Yeah.
He's used words initially.
Yeah.
Now she starts slapping him. She slaps him one, insulting him further in front of a TV, in front of a recording, in
No,
front
but
of a live set.
that TV show is like that.
Entertainment.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never seen it. I
'Cause
don't know.
I was bare pissed off as well when I saw that clip first time.
Yeah.
But I digged in.
They want moments like that.
Yeah, that's their TV show. She insults people,
Oh, is it?
and this guy just got pissed off that she slapped him because she goes around slapping people anyway.
Oh, does she?
Yeah. She insults people. She goes around slapping people, and this guy took that slap and he just like, nah, you just saw red, and he slapped her back.
Okay.
And the
okay.
producer's like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's why they all rushed him.
Okay, right, but there's a lot of sorry, I didn't know that. Yeah, but if we was to take that out of the equation, just use that clip just for an example. Yeah, there's a lot of men who jump to the scene, and after that, the guy poor bugger gets battered. Yeah, right, but there's a lot of men. There's a man who shouts out as well. How can you hit a woman or something like that?
yeah.
I was like, wait, hang on a minute. How can a woman hit a man? Like, is it? Why is this? Why is the world we live in so narrow? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, why should anyone hit each other? End of. Do you know what I mean? Why is it acceptable for a woman to hit a man? I don't agree with that. But that's it.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying.
Do you know what I think? You should never put your hands on another person, whether it's a man or a woman, to be honest, unnecessarily, unless it's needed. But obviously, for females, different. Sometimes women are wired differently, not in a bad way, in a good way as well. And sometimes it depends who the person is. If it's your loved one, to your missus, if something happens, she just gives you a little slap. Obviously, it's still wrong. But if it was to have happened, you just have to take it on the chin.
What about this question? Yeah, do you think physical abuse is more painful than emotional abuse? Because I remember having this conversation with someone, and they were like, "Oh, me being like cheated on is nothing compared to like me being like physically abused." And then I was like, but some people might say, you know what, I can take the abuse, but I would never allow myself to get cheated on or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
That is a very good question.
So do you think like which one's worse? Because I think men will probably say like physical abuse isn't that much of an issue because
you do it, you get up, you're fine.
whereas us being mentally abused or or like emotionally
It
abused,
is a lot more.
it hurts more, cuts more deep.
It's a lot longer lasting as well.
Yeah.
But I personally think they're two separate things. Man.
Yeah.
I just think you can't compare the two, and I think they're both
They're still
horrible
both
in the both ways.
They're both still
100%.
forms of abuse.
100%.
100%. But I think like, okay. Let's just say that's an interesting one, and that brings on to something else as well. Like basically, what I was gonna say was imagine, say for example you're in a psychological abusive relationship, yeah, and you're getting to the point where basically you can't tolerate it no more. What would you suggest to that? Like, as in,
Psychological abuse.
yeah. So what did you say before? It was like
Emotional.
Emotional.
But basically
Emotional is a form of
yeah,
psychological, yeah. So like psychological abuse can really, really kill someone like from inside. Like it's the silent killer.
Yeah.
Right. It can really, really, kill someone's emotions, their confidence, their everything. Like, as in, it can change someone's personality, their character over time. As I said, you can't compare physical to that, in my personal opinion, right? But what I will say is that I think if you're in a relationship like that, it's far too toxic, and I think it's best to just exit out of it.
That's always the first
Yeah.
protocol, I think. So anyway,
And same with like physical. Now, I don't know, yeah. I just think to myself, yeah, before any relationship gets to a point where there's going to be like a physical abuse aspect to it, I think it's better to just end that relationship before it gets to that stage. Because, bro, at the end of the day, we're all humans, innit? Everyone's human. Everyone's got their own tolerance. And for example, I'm just simply saying, there's situations where, like, for example, someone might be swearing the shit out of someone. Now, if it's the same gender who's swearing like that to you, you're not going to tolerate it. But if it's the opposite gender, sometimes people tolerate it. Right? Now, if that is the case, when a man, if for example, you wouldn't tolerate it, you'd end up getting physical. Like, I'm just saying, like, for example, if I was to say something really, really sensitive to you, I'm not saying you, don't imagine me, right? But I'm just saying, like, say, for example, if man to man, if I was to say something really, really sensitive towards you, or something to do with something you're too sensitive about, you might smack me one. I'm just saying, at a point, I might push a button to the point where basically you might end up smacking me one. But what I'm saying is that sometimes there could be your partner who's tapping those same buttons. So a female, for example, a female is tapping those same buttons as to the man. What are you supposed to do in that situation? Sorry, I know I've gone long-winded about it, and you're falling half asleep. But I'm just trying to work out, what do you do in that situation? I personally think you should end the relationship, because otherwise it's going to get to that point where basically you're not going to have no option but to start wanting to hurt that person.
It's a rabbit hole, though, isn't it? Like, people, you hear about stories that people can't really get themselves out of them kind of relationships or situations because that's all they know. Like, their past traumas, their childhood, the PTSD, all that sort of stuff. It accounts to them just not being able to get themselves out of that situation, innit? So you can't just say get yourself out, because you can say that to any situation, abusive, physical, emotional, mentally, whatever. Your first natural thing is just get yourself away from it.
Yeah.
But sometimes people just can't do that.
People can't. And there's other things attached. Sometimes there's children attached. Sometimes there's other responsibilities. You don't want to bring shame to your family. I'm just saying, like, some people look at that as shameful. Like, do you know what I mean? Or
and
whatever.
if you ask people in abusive relationships, they get themselves out of it, what usually tends to happen? They tend to spine themselves in the back into abusive relationship.
It's a cycle.
True. You know what I mean?
True.
And another thing as well is the sad thing is, when someone is getting psychologically abused, they've become, their mind has become, what's the word? It gets to a point where it's been happening so often that it's become normal, and they've been brainwashed, for example, by that other person, the other half or whoever it is, and it gets twisted in a way where they think that's the norm now, and it's hard to get that out. So my advice would probably be, speak to people. Obviously, don't speak to whoever you feel comfortable with. Whether it's a professional, someone who's, I don't know, works in that field, a counselor or something like that. But speak to someone confidentially, in private, and have that discussion, and get their advice, listen, and take it from there. Because sometimes ranting it out and speaking to someone can clear your mind and can clear your thoughts, and hopefully because I from not my personal experience, but from experience of others, I've realized is that it gets so deep into it that they don't even realize themselves that
Yes.
how abnormal this is.
Yes. They think
You
this is
know,
normal.
They
bro.
think this is life. Like this is how
Yeah.
it's meant to be. And it's like when you speak to them, you're probably gonna think, "Wow, this person's gone crazy." But that's what the effects of having being psychologically abused does to you.
And it's a shame because it happens a lot in our Desi culture,
Community,
man. It's,
yeah,
just,
and it's a
it's
taboo.
very sad, yeah. And people don't want to talk about it because, like I said, it's just so normal. Like people don't really want to air out their laundry, but it's something that we do need to change, man. We do need to
100%.
change, man.
Basically, bro, one of the things that I've noticed, yeah, over the last like 20 years, yeah, how at one point a man was like a dictator in a couple, in like a relationship type thing, yeah. What I feel is that over the years, roles have been switched a little bit, to the point where basically a man has to seek permission from his missus. Man has to like, for example, check with his missus, is she okay with this decision? He can't make any decisions without first discussing it with the partner. I get that marriage is a partnership. I totally get that, right? But I feel a lot of the time, and that by the way, this is absolutely fine. If you need to seek permission from your partner, that's absolutely fine, right? But it works two ways, right? It needs to be reciprocated as well. So, like for example, if that's how your relationship is, then then even your partner needs to also check with you as well, because like there might be that mutual understanding where basically we work as a team and we need to make decisions as a team, and that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't like it when it's just one-sided. And what I'm starting to see a little bit more is that nowadays men, they don't have the freedom to be able to do stuff. What I feel is that men have to always check and make sure and get the assurance from the partner that yes, this is okay, but then it's okay for the partner to be able to do whatever they want. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Solid.
So do you think that's a form of mental abuse then?
I think it's a form of abuse.
Yeah.
Because what's happened is, over the term of the relationship, the partner would have manipulated situations to the point where basically the man seems to think that it's acceptable for the partner to be able to do whatever they want, and that every decision that the partner makes is absolutely fine. The partner meaning the wife. But the person has been made to feel inconfident to the point where they have to check with their dominating partner, in this case the missus, before they can make any decision, whether that be financial, whether that be non-financial, whether that be lifestyle. Do you know what I mean? Whether that be stuff like, can I join a gym membership? Do you know what I'm trying to say? I'm just simply saying.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think to live a stress-free life, just agree to your missus.
And bro, this is what I'm trying to say.
If you want a stress-free life, whatever your missus says, yeah, that's fine.
And bro, this is what I'm trying to say. A lot of men do that. A lot of men do that because they don't want to get into conflicts. They don't want to get into arguments.
It's just not worth it.
But then, bro,
You're not really tackling the problem, though, are you?
this is the problem. This is it. You're not actually fixing anything. You're digging yourself a bigger hole. And the problem is, it's human nature, right? You give a hand, they want a arm. I've said this before, haven't I? As in, you give them an inch, they want a mile, right? So, and this. I'm not gonna say this is more to do with females or males. This is just human nature, right? People always want more, and people easily become adapted to certain ways of life. The minute, if for example someone's going to become dominating, and the more you allow someone to become dominating, that will become a norm. They're going to become more dominating. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So find that balance and try to make sure you draw that line of domination. Make sure you try to be equal. Make sure you battle your own corner where possible. Do you know what I mean? Don't let yourself get into that trap.
Yeah, and also like it comes down to individual as well. If the one person likes to take that role, of letting the other person dominate or like take control, then so be it. You know what I mean? Each their own.
And that's fine.
And I'm not saying I agree or disagree, but I'm saying if that's what makes you feel comfortable, if that makes you feel happy, then go for it.
Yeah.
But like, don't. The point I think you are making was that don't feel like you have to be within your own shell or like feel confined within the restrictions of our partner.
Yeah.
If you feel like, you know what, our relationship is me making decisions and you, some days you make decisions, or if it's a vice versa, equal balance type thing.
Yeah.
It should be that. Don't feel like left in the back seat and feel like, oh, my partner's taking the decisions and they're controlling my life kind of thing. I think that's a one-way ticket for you to fall into depression and all sorts of like mental
trapped.
illnesses and stuff. Yeah.
100%.
100%. But I think the worry is, once upon a time, this was a real big issue for women. This was a real big issue, and it genuinely was. Women were silenced quite a lot. Women were treated poorly. Men were very dominating. Men dictated what their partners do and all that sort of stuff. I don't think it was. You know, like as in it's not something which is acceptable in today's society. But what I'm saying is that you know, eventually over time, women's voices, they were heard. People started to take a stand, and that's brilliant. Like as in, you know,
As they should.
as they
as they
should.
should.
But
Exactly.
I think as well, partly,
Right.
But I think it's gone a bit over the
I
top now.
feel as though now it's going to the
Yeah.
other extreme.
Yes.
This
Because
is what
before,
I'm trying to say.
men's rights and power was here,
Yeah.
women's rights and power here. Now
Now
it's come up here, and now it's
and now
slightly
it's
tipping
going
over.
above.
Yeah.
To the point where basically men don't have a voice.
Yeah.
And I feel, you know, I'm just worried that are we going to the other extreme?
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? That's all, mate.
yeah. And I think as well, partly the reason why it was like that is because originally, if you think about, you know, our parents' generation, our grandparents' generation, the previous generations, women were mainly housewives. You know, it used to be the man going to work, making the decisions, and the missus would be at home looking after the children. But obviously, as time has gone by, as generations have passed, women have gained a level of education. They're getting that independence, that freedom now to go do what they want to do, which I think is good. But as you guys were mentioning as well, there has to be a balance. I think, you know, if you're asking permission for something, then I would expect as a level of respect for your other half to ask permissions as well, vice versa. I think that just shows a level of respect. I get your point. I think what you were trying to say as well, just to shorten it quickly, was the fact that it shouldn't be one way.
Yeah. Both need to
basically,
respect each other. innit?
exactly,
Both need
yeah.
to they need to respect each other. Both need to listen to each other. Both need to work with each other rather than one person being more dominating than the other.
Whether it's a
you
male
know?
or a female.
Yeah,
But
it doesn't matter.
as time's going, females are getting a lot more decisive and in what they want, and you
the
don't
thing
want to
is,
get
my-
stuck in
my
that
thing-
trap where
my thing
it's
is-
going to affect your mental health. As
Yeah,
a
my
man.
thing is nothing wrong with like women like
Yeah.
having rights
Yeah,
and
that's
empowerment
fine.
and stuff. That I'm for it. But when it's like when it gets to a point where your gender roles are sort of like mixed in and it's just like everything just like blurred, that's when it's an issue. Because at the end of the day, you can be like have your rights, you can have your empowerment
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff, but just know your role in a relationship, innit? And this is where like I think society is crumbling a little bit because men we don't like, not me, like us, but like as men generally, we don't know where we stand within a relationship. Like, am I the breadwinner? Am I the person at home? What am I doing? Whereas women's are getting pushed in with the rights and empowerment and stuff. They're getting all the backing, but the men are just being left behind. And you know, men can't be men anymore. Sort of thing, innit?
100%.
And I think I do fear the worst when it comes to that sort of scenario, that situation. I feel like men aren't being allowed to be men anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's conspiracies, whatever, but that's just part of what's being pushed out right now.
So to summarize, I want to ask you, as I can go first and answer it as well, is what's one piece of advice you would give to, say, for example, set up, hypothetically speaking, a couple where you are noticing these things where, you know, the missus is, you know, demanding a lot of things from the husband, and then the husband isn't, is not receiving that same thing back, like, for example, asking permission. What would your one piece of advice be?
I think advice for me, I would say, I think there's nothing wrong with seeking a counselor. I think there's nothing wrong with seeking therapy. I think sometimes within a relationship, it's hard to sort of engage in the problems when it's right beside you. I think you need an external person or someone to tell you, right, this is where the problems lie. This is what you should be doing. This is what needs to happen. You guys should try this, try new things. Sometimes within a marriage or couple, I think sometimes you can't really tackle situations when the problem is right in front of you. You know what I mean? You need to take a step back and just like sort of assess it from afar, or get someone else to assess it for you, and then have a different perspective. Do you know what I mean? So I think counselling, I think therapy does. I think I would go down that route.
Nice. Sahib?
I would say every so often, and this is only just because you don't want it to become an extreme, right? So I would say every so often, let it hit reality. So what I mean by that is, make a stand for yourself. Make yourself heard. You don't always have to do what the other person wants you to do. Or, you know, like as in let the other person realize you're an independent person and you can also make decisions for yourself as well. I think otherwise what you're allowing yourself to do is you're allowing your relationship to go toxic. And it can, and you know, these situations, they can become very, very, very toxic.
They can easily snowball
100%,
to something much larger and much more problematic.
So I think before it becomes toxic, and you know, it happens very, very easily, you just need to know how to reset it every so often. It's okay if, you know, as you said, Dan said before, that basically, you know, there's a lot of men out there, there's a lot of people out there who don't mind taking a back seat, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But every so often, the lion needs to roar. You like that?
They need to come out of the cave.
They need to come out the cave and they need to roar a little bit.
They need to hunt.
They need to hunt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
It's okay. It's okay. Let the lioness do. That's fine. You can do what you need to do.
Yeah. But when push comes to shove,
We're here.
let the lion do its work. Innit?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You get me?
Nice.
Solid.
That's sick.
What about yours?
Mine's not as good as the lion and the lioness. But for me, my one piece of advice would be, first one is, look, there's so many actions that we do throughout the day which we forget about, but we still don't know how it can affect your other half, right? So my advice for that would be, have a journal or have a book or something, or make a note make a note, and maybe at the end of every day or every 2 days, depending on how busy you are, just make a note of the things so that you've done, whether it's like, for example, you demanded something from your husband or vice versa, things like these, because obviously when you do it at that moment, because you're so used to the way of living, you think you forget, but you don't know that the other person, you can have an impact on their mental health consistently throughout time. So make a note of these things, and then once you're seeing that while it's still fresh and you look back through your journal and you're noticing these patterns and all of these stuff, use that to self-reflect. So then put yourself in their position. Say, for example, I'm demanding stuff from my missus, for example, but she's never ever demanding it from me. Or, for example, like permission that we were talking about, you know, she's having to ask me permission for a lot of things, but I'm doing everything freely. Just put yourself in the other person's point of view and their shoes, and just be like, how would I feel if that was to happen to me? Sort of. So it's about self-reflecting and then realizing, okay, this is this, and then, yeah, that's my advice. It's just
It's fairness. Innit? It's fairness.
yeah, it's fairness, and now you've got a note and you've made you can physically see the things that you're doing, because we're all humans. You know, we've got traits within us that we don't even realize we've got. But once you've written it down and you're self-reflecting, that's when you actually realize.
Yeah, but how is that self-reflection going to work for the opposite person who's actually been dominating? Because that's one way of your friend.
So
because your advice to your friend, right?
Yeah.
As in your friend, you're giving that advice.
So what I meant by that is, okay,
How is he going to tackle that
so my
problem?
one is, as a couple,
Yeah.
you do it together.
do it together.
That's
Yes,
what I meant.
yes, yeah.
I-
No,
sorry, I didn't make that clear.
That makes
enough.
sense. That makes
I
sense.
didn't make that. That's what I mean. As in, it's a time. It's similar to counseling, but you're doing
Yeah,
it
yeah.
yourself. You're self-reflected. You're having discussions within you. It's just having that communication, and
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes, well, most of the times, it leads to an extra level of bonding as well,
Yeah.
because you're getting to know the person even more. You're understanding each other's flaws. You're not keeping stuff hidden, and you've got now an open chapter. So it gives you that space to improve and to grow as a couple, because every day you're gonna the plan in a marriage is to grow. You want to keep growing consistently and build yourself as a team. So that'll be
that's a
my
good one,
one
man.
advice, because when you brush things off, like you said, it leads to a snowball effect. You brush things off, and the
build
next
up,
thing
innit?
you
It's a
know,
build up.
you're both unhappy and you don't even know why you're unhappy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Smash it, lads.
Right, solid, lads.
Yeah.
Solid.
Should we wrap it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Good conversation today.
We should have enough clips on TikTok now.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the conversation with us. Any thoughts, let us know in the comments. DM us your questions. And yeah, man, subscribe, like, comment, share. And we'll catch you
Peace.
guys next time.
See you later.